long and hard about this over the last few hours because I had no intentions, Molly, of talking about this at all. Clearly took exception to some of the things that he heard me say, and he confronted me about it.
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
I believe that Floyd Mayweather has gone completely broke. And not just broke, but millions and millions of dollars in debt. And I know it sounds crazy to some of you out there, but
Stephen A. Smith has now stepped forward with a direct and bold challenge to Floyd Mayweather, questioning his massive claim of owning 62 buildings worth $42 million. Fresh reports are creating serious doubt, suggesting Floyd may not fully own these properties and instead only holds minor shares with limited control. This has pushed Stephen to question whether Mayweather exaggerated his wealth to protect his larger-than-life image, especially as rumors about financial struggles, bankruptcy risks, and even a possible $42 million scam continue spreading.
Lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
For a long time, Stephen A. Smith was one of Floyd Mayweather's biggest supporters, openly showing respect for everything he achieved in boxing. He consistently praised Floyd's undefeated record and his unmatched dominance inside the ring, particularly in the later years of his career. Smith admired his discipline, his elite defensive style, and the way he controlled every opponent with precision. In his view, Floyd was more than just a fighter. He was a strategic mastermind who avoided unnecessary risks. That level of intelligence and long-term dominance made him one of the most respected and admired athletes in the world.
Was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much. And literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
But that respect slowly began to fade when Mayweather entered a completely different phase: exhibition fights. After officially retiring, Floyd made a return, but this time the focus seemed less about legacy and more about money. His bout against Logan Paul became the clearest example. Stephen strongly criticized the move, saying it lacked real competition and meaning. Logan Paul, a social media personality with limited boxing experience, was never seen as a true threat. For someone who once ruled the sport, this decision felt like a pure cash grab, and many fans began to share that same.
Not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational, but he retired years ago. And for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know, but I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
Stephen didn't hold back and continued to question Floyd's choices. In several interviews, he openly expressed concern about Mayweather's entire exhibition approach. He admitted that the fight with Conor McGregor made sense because McGregor had genuine fighting experience. But beyond that, he drew a clear line. Facing opponents far below Floyd's level just to secure easy paydays damages the powerful legacy he spent years building. Smith made his stance clear. It appeared Floyd was prioritizing money over his place in.
Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it.
This concern reached a peak during a direct and intense interview. Stephen A. Smith asked Mayweather a simple yet powerful question. What matters more, money, or legacy? It was a defining moment that demanded a clear answer. However, Floyd's responses kept circling back to money. He proudly highlighted his business deals and massive earnings. To many watching, it felt like a legendary figure choosing short-term financial gain over long-term respect and
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't going to say more than money. We know better. We're not going to say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises.
This strong focus on money is now influencing the next generation of fighters. Stephen pointed out that many young boxers no longer look up to Floyd for his technical skills, defense, or ring intelligence. Instead, they admire his wealth, flashy lifestyle, and public image. According to Smith, this shift is dangerous for boxing. It sends the wrong message, that earning money is more important than mastering the sport. Over time, this mindset could weaken the values that once made
It's the businessman in Mayweather they actually love even more. As the sun clearly set on the boxing career of Mayweather, many can reflect on a lot of things about the man. He wasn't a Mike Tyson-like knockout artist, or even Tommy the Hitman Hearns. To many, he wasn't even Sugar Ray Leonard. He certainly can't be confused with Muhammad Ali or any other fighter who's ever been socially conscious. No doubt he was guilty of domestic violence, as our very own The Undefeated accurately pointed out. He definitely had his share of boring fights that didn't give the people what they actually wanted to see. But that ain't the legacy these athletes are paying attention to. What they're paying attention to instead is the $1 billion plus Mayweather has earned in his career. How box office he made himself. How he's been his own boss, answerable to no commissioner, no owner, no GMs, and barely even the fans for the last decade in achieving unprecedented wealth, fame, and control of his own name, his own brand. And how despite strenuous efforts by so many to bring him down, they simply weren't able to do it. You want to see an athlete drool? The idolized displaying deference and respect?
That shift became even clearer when Floyd was asked why he chose Logan Paul instead of a real heavyweight champion like Tyson Fury. His response surprised many people. Floyd said Logan had more followers. Nothing more. It wasn't about competition, skill, or legacy. It was purely about social media reach. For critics like Stephen A. Smith, this confirmed their fears. Floyd was no longer chasing greatness. He was chasing attention and money, which deeply disappointed
Logan Paul.
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury.
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100 for 6.
There was once a time when Floyd Mayweather stood as the highest paid athlete in the world, not just in boxing but across all sports. That title brought him enormous respect and recognition. However, with new reports and financial rumors now surfacing, his reputation is facing serious scrutiny. The same man once praised for discipline and smart financial decisions is now surrounded by doubts about the wealth he proudly displayed. This sudden shift has raised
Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3-4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down
Mayweather has always been known for showing off his wealth in bold ways. One of the most shocking examples was his $1.8 million watch, which even left celebrities stunned. From luxury cars to private jets, his lifestyle represented extreme wealth and non-stop spending. But today, those same displays are being viewed differently. People are beginning to question whether it was all truly real or carefully presented as an illusion. What once
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ. That's how we do it. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he's saying.
Money green.
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. One of one piece. One of one. The money team. Can we see it on him? Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
It's a one of one. I love that.
Adding more controversy, former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen made a surprising claim. He suggested that the Mayweather vs. McGregor fight wasn't as successful as people believed. According to him, many empty seats were filled just to make the arena appear sold out. Having attended the event, Sonnen criticized what he described as a carefully crafted illusion. Even before the Money Mayweather era, financial issues were reportedly present. Records showed Floyd faced jail time over unpaid taxes and even had to borrow $2 million at one point, revealing a very...
Well, from Eric B. and Rakim, we were at the Mondrian. Floyd Mayweather was there. He had some tax issues. He was about to go to jail, but that's before Money Mayweather. That's Pretty Boy Floyd.
Got you.
He was speaking to E. He needed a couple of $1 million to stay out of jail. I called my man Neil, who I was rocking with heavy. He owned Scunty, the hair accessory company. Everybody thought it was crazy. They said, yo, loan me $2 million. I want to sign Floyd. He flew out, loaned me the $2 million. And from there on, we were in the box.
The financial figures themselves raised serious concerns. At one stage, Floyd reportedly owed $22.2 million to the IRS. For someone claiming to be the richest athlete alive, this level of debt shocked many people. It suggested that behind the luxury image and bold claims, things may not have been as stable as they appeared. These revelations forced fans to rethink everything they once...
Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Then came statements from 50 Cent, who was once a close friend of Mayweather. In interviews, he claimed Floyd spent massive amounts on jewelry, gambling, and luxury living, eventually leading to financial problems. According to him, Floyd didn't take exhibition fights for entertainment. He needed the money. And by doing so, he risked damaging his own legacy.
That Floyd Mayweather has gone completely broke. And not just broke, but millions and millions of dollars in debt. And I know it sounds crazy to some of you out there, but trust me, I have legitimate proof. Watch this.
He asked me to help him, so I could stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated. Because he didn't sign the paper doesn't mean the corporation isn't valid. So I could actually, technically, it trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built on it. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because he's just not. I just said it, and he won't be able to figure out that I could do that.
Damn, you and this guy, man. I thought y'all was good again.
We are good. I just don't understand why he having the conversation. How am I coming up in conversation? I don't even care about what they're doing.
So there's still some static.
No, it only happens when it's time.
Got it.
It's time to build some type of energy or some sort of press. Right. It's time to make a fight, and then that happens.
So through the BX Fight Club, you met someone,
Isaac, right? Because they had to legalize it on paper to turn it into like a dark show, like when they don't have television involved with a boxing event. Even Floyd, when you make yourself like we got issues or you're angry, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah. That's what you think. It's get the money spent.
Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.